super excited to host this Huddle Zoom with you all today. We are going to talk about a few things, and I'm going to bring a few people on to share. They actually don't quite know what they're going to share. Well, they know they're going to share, but not really what I'm going to ask them. But I want to take a second and first introduce myself. If we haven't met already, my name is Dustin. I've been with Prove It from over 8 years now. I actually was one of the very first people to ever put an order in when you could order ketones. And on the very first day you could order ketones. We were in a VIP kind of private area. I'd never had experience in this industry before. I had experience in life, but never in this industry. I was looking, I want to say this again, I was investigating for 3 years, looking to join network marketing. I'd never done it before, and I was looking to join network marketing. I actually called, true story, I called 3 companies. Now, I still didn't understand network marketing, which Prove It calls it community-based marketing. But I called 3 companies. It's like somebody calling headquarters Prove It and going, "Hey, how do I join your business?" Like, that's what I was doing. But I didn't like any of the answers because nobody would talk to me, because I didn't know you had to be with a promoter. Like, I didn't know that. I just was calling the company up going, "Hey, like, tell me what to do. Like, how do I make money with your products?" Because I thought their products were pretty good. And of course, I meet a gentleman. He brings me ketones, which is the best, most superior product in the world, right? This is unbelievable, in the same industry, but I didn't know it yet. I didn't know that it was network marketing for 9-10 months after we got our orders in. Even after I placed the order, I'm still kind of confused. I'm like, what do I, like, how does this work? And I'm finally realizing it's the same as what I was looking to try to do. So I wanted to share that with you all, because right now, if you've done network marketing in the past, community-based marketing, right now, if you've done direct sales, or if you haven't, I want you to know that there's somebody else out there that's looking to join, and this is what they want to do. They're looking for something right now. I just want you to know they're there. It's all out there. All right. I also want you to know that if you know, and you've been doing it multiple times without having great level success, or maybe you've had great success and you want to have more success here, or you've never had success and you've done this multiple times without success, I want you to know that that's the person that brought me in. Does that make sense? Has done multiple times without having any great success, but this was different, right? So is it timing? Is it serendipity? Is it, I don't know if it's divine timing, if it's law of attraction. I'm not sure, but there's one thing that I know for sure, is that if you don't keep moving forward or chipping at it and going for it, and you don't keep working on your mindset and working on you will never find it. It won't happen. That's what I know for sure. Like, if you don't keep going for it, and going for it isn't like running a sprint into a wall and trying your hardest every single moment of the day. Going for it is consistently moving forward, even though things might be challenging. So I just want to start out the call with that, because I'm going to end the call with exactly that. So I can't wait, y'all. This is a special call. I'm going to be sharing a video with you a little bit later. And we're going to take a few minutes and talk about that video. And it's 4 minutes and 33 seconds long. And if you watch this video and really understand the message in it, it will completely change your life in every aspect of your life, if you're willing to watch it and listen to it and really receive what it's going to say. But before we do that, this weekend we had an event up in, well, I want to say Virginia City, in Reno, Nevada. And we had an event in Carson City, Friday night and Saturday. Now, the team out there, Carrie Clark, Anna Mae came, Nick, Tyler Clark, Paula was there, Ren was there. We had amazing promoters there coming to this event. Now, but before I asked a few of these individuals to speak, Saturday morning, we had another event. So I came up on Friday. It was a 4-hour drive for me. I took 6, but it is 4 hours. And we had an event Friday night, and then we did it about 30 minutes away on Saturday morning. We did another event. So it was 2 separate locations, and we called it a Better Life Workshop. And we basically just sat down with people, and I'll explain more about what the event was and how it worked, and we just cared about them, and amazing things happened. So, but before I go into that, I want to just state this is true story. I've been asking them Carrie's a rank 6 Circle of Champion. So she's had success in Prove It. She is not on here. She's actually in a boat in the middle of the water right now. So she's not on here. Paula's working. Ren's she's in surgery right now. So few of the people that actually help host this event are actually completely not here right now, which is really cool because we have some other people that are going to share that have a different perspective than they did. But what's interesting about this is that I had asked them no less than 10 times to set something up for me to come up and do it. And they didn't. They didn't. They didn't. It's like timing wasn't right. This wasn't right. This wasn't right. This wasn't right. This wasn't right. And it was interesting because they're very well skilled. They have the ability to do this. No questions asked. They've all hosted a gathering before. They've all hosted, a meeting before. They've all hosted people at their house or somewhere before. They all knew how to drink ketones and how to pour them into a glass and serve them together. They've all invited somebody to something, but it just kind of didn't happen. Well, interesting enough, I got on a call a couple of weeks ago, not even a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago. And I was like, listen, we got to make this happen. And they finally said, yes, they will. But then they wanted to push it out into August. And I'm like, all the way to August? Like, that's too far away. And Carrie's like, well, I have a trip I have to take and I can't do it till I get back. And so I'm like, okay, so I put in my calendar, okay, early August, we're gonna do this thing. And then I get a text message saying, no, it's the 21st or the 20th and the 21st. And I'm like, I already booked plans. So I already booked plans for something else because I was thinking it was in August. I was able to change my plans. We got up there and there's a reason why I'm telling you all this is right now, everybody on here has probably got something they want to do and they've been pushing it off. They've been wanting to do a booth. They've been wanting to do a KLP. They've been wanting to make that phone call. And that's no different than Carrie as a rank 6. She wanted to do it, but it's like timing wasn't right. Not everybody's available. There's an event going on in town. There's always a reason for it not to be perfect. True story. There's a huge event in town. So like more than half of our people were out of town at this event or like outside of it. They weren't going to come. No, nothing we were going to do to get them there. I'm like, doesn't matter. Let's do it anyway. It's better than waiting until August until everything is perfect. And then the same people show up anyway, right? So I wanted to share that all with you, but it was a really cool event. It was a Better Life workshop. And that's what it means, better life with ketones, with Prove It, with our community and our team. So before I move and transition here in a second, I want to bring on, I see her right now front and center. So I'm gonna bring on Anime. Anime drove into the event. She was there as a promoter supporting. She's been in Prove It for a while. Anime, if you could really quick just introduce yourself. And I just got to ask you one question about the event.
Hello, I'm happy to be here. I am Anime Crockett. I am from LaGrange, California. If people don't know where that is, we're about 45 minutes east of Modesto, 45 minutes west of Yosemite. So that is where we're at, a little rural town. I joined Prove It in late October of 2022. And I have been drinking it every day since and have grown with every event that I come to.
So let me ask you this question. When you saw that event this weekend, because you're more of a bystander, right? Because you guys were coming in as almost more as like a traveling guest support crew, right? Because this wasn't her whole time. It was like 3-hour drive for you? 3 hours?
It was about 4-hour
drive. So she drove 4 hours. Coming to that event and kind of being the fly on the wall, what would you say your biggest aha moment was being there and just sitting back and kind of listening to what, besides how amazing I was, take that part out, everything else though you can say.
My biggest aha moment was just to watch the team just put everything together very last minute, and just to see how many people poured into both of those events. Both nights had a full house, and to see our team work together and overcome some little obstacles that happened like the day of, trying to rearrange the chairs and then just for me, I go to every event that I can, whether it's to support my team or just to be with the community, because it helps me grow. I am very quiet. My husband's very opposite of me. I like to sit in the back of the room and try not to be noticed. And since I've joined Prove It, like it's helped me like break out of that. And every event helps me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Nick asked me, and I'm going to ask if Nick's on here. I want to ask him. He and I were talking, and he's like, "How do I get Anime to talk to more people? How do I get her to do this?" And I go, "Nick, she shouldn't." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "She's like, how many introverts out there? You're not shy. I'm just going to tell you, there's very few shy, but how many introverts are out there? If you have an introvert, put a 1 in the chat or give me some jazz hands or something." So I don't want you to stop being you. Do you have to get uncomfortable and grow a little bit? Yes. But do you need to be Kate Higdon? Now, Kate Higdon says she's an introvert. I just still don't believe her, but either way. But her husband, Nick, would talk to anybody. That doesn't make him more successful or less successful at Prove It. What it makes him is the ability to talk to a lot of people. But you put Anime with a group of 2 or 3 or 4 people at one time, and her heart just shines. She gets very comfortable. And her true stories and true colors come out. She'll make a bigger movement and impact in a small group scenario. So I told Nick this, and it was one of my big takeaways. I'm like, you just go get them and put them in front of her, but don't do it in big groups. Do it in small groups. Do what we just did with smaller groups until you have enough other promoters to support it, if that makes any sense. But do that in small groups, because you're going to show Anime with being more introverted, because her heart's big. She cares. She has an extreme amount of knowledge, knows what she's doing here. But you put her in a group of 50 people, it's going to really be hard for her, that part of her, to come out. So if you're an introvert, good. Now, do you need to grow? Yeah. I'm an extrovert and I need to learn how to shut up sometimes. How do I like just sit and listen? Because otherwise what happens is people don't feel heard. They don't feel like they got what they needed from them from the time we were together. Does that make sense? If that makes any sense, they get overwhelmed. They don't want to be a part of this because they think it has to be so much. That's not true either. So if you're an introvert, be an introvert. Just be a really damn good one. Y'all committed to that? Just be the best one you can. You're not shy. You just like smaller, intimate settings to deliver information. That's all it is. Cool. Thank you. Is Nick on? Nick, I was Nick Crockett. I forget, Christina, do you have to make them all co-hosts to make them, Tyler might be on too. Tyler Clark. If not, that's okay. So this event, Anime, while we're waiting to see if those other ones come up, was it super fancy? Where was the first event at? Just so everybody knows, where was the first event at?
The first event was at a physical therapist at their office. We literally had people sitting on the tables that they work on. We took all of their stools from their front office that people were sitting on. So it was not fancy at all. It actually was a great setting. And then the second one was, I believe it was a professional office building. Paula, she works out of one of the rooms there. And we had it right there in their reception, which was really, really small. But we managed to fit a ton of people in there. At first, she wanted it in a different room, and there was a huge table in the way that couldn't be moved. And we're like, no, let's just do it right here. This is perfect lighting. And so it wasn't fancy at all. And it was simple, but it was perfect. I mean,
awesome. Now, I want to paint that picture. Nick and Tyler are on. I want to ask them a couple questions, and I'm going to get into my last little lesson for the day. But it was a physical therapist office. Now, Tyler, if you can come on for a second, how did you guys get that office, by the way? I'm just curious. And then I'll have Tyler. I'll introduce Tyler. So Tyler is here, byproduct of Carrie Clark, his wife. So, and Tyler's been kind of immersing himself into Prove It and a big supporter of his wife, but to the point where like he loves this stuff. He loves supporting her, but he likes what he's getting out of it. And I actually don't know right yet what his biggest, like, why is he so invested? And I'm kind of curious with this. So Tyler, if you can come on, I got a few questions for you. My brain.
Yeah, I'm on. You good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. You got me. Oh, there he is. So really quick, Tyler, how did you guys get the PT shop? Like, why there? Why did that happen? How did that work out?
Actually, I believe it was through Paula. Paula was the one that was able to make the connection, which was fantastic for Carrie. She made the connection, set it up, and the rest is history. I mean, we're there. It's a little harder around here to get some venues. Just depends on what you're involved in and your connections. But luckily, we had Paula to make that connection, and that's what got it set up for us.
So I love this because this is just a simple connection. This is a relationship that somebody had. Paula is another promoter, and Paula goes under Ren. It goes Carrie, Ren, Paula, and Paula's another promoter that had a relationship with somebody in a different town than she lives in, and they did an event there at the PT shop. So what happens when we say like these events? I say events. Sometimes people think it's so much, and it's a think about you're going to an office building or a little room, and you're sitting down and you're going to talk to people, try ketones, and then you deliver a message, tell some stories. That's really all it was, right? Now, I happen to be the allure that came in. So I was like hey, come and see this guy maybe. But at the end of the day, I could have did a 10-minute video, and if they would have invited all the same people there, the outcome probably would have been the same. Okay. Now, Tyler, I have to ask this. How many of you out there right now have a spouse that either is or isn't like not that they're not supporting you, but they're not like necessarily over supporting you, but they're just saying, hey, go do your thing and I'll do my thing. Tyler, I got to ask, why are you supporting Carrie so much in this?
Basically because I've seen the benefits to her, how much she has immersed herself in the whole entire program. That's been huge. This is something that means a lot to her, and it's, and I don't even want to brag or anything like that, but for the 14 and a half years that we've been together, all this focus has always been on Tyler. What's Tyler doing? You know, with my having the ability to go teach at seminars and having the ability to travel and go train canine and do all that kind of stuff. Everybody always talked about Tyler. And now this is a huge opportunity for Carrie. And I'm just so incredibly proud that she is now the focus, and I can dump a bunch of energy into getting her off to events. I mean, going to her first Prove It event was the first time she ever just jumped on a plane and went to a conference. And it has been a freaking whirlwind since then. It's like, I got invited to this. I got invited to that. Can I go to this? Can I go to that? I'm like, go. Just get out there and involve yourself. And she has, and it's been awesome. And the network that she's created has been fantastic. And here's another really cool thing. It's brought Anime and I closer together. Anime is my cousin. So for anybody that doesn't know, she's my cousin. And it's like her and Carrie are best friends, man. They're chatting all the time. They're talking all the time and doing stuff. So not only has Prove It and this brought her into the limelight, it's networked us with so many more people. I mean, I just saw a message pop up from Justin, and Justin's a brother to me in law enforcement. I love that guy. I met him at an event, and we haven't hung out or done anything together, but I know that if I called him right now and said, hey, I got a problem, he would drop right in and help me. So it's that kind of stuff. And awesome. And Carrie's just like that too. She's so giving. Everybody talks to her. Everybody comes up and communicates with her. So I just love watching her do her thing. I love just to stand back and fold my arms in the corner and be that guy that she always complains about, that is just overseeing and watching everything. But I love doing it because I just soak it in.
Awesome. Well, hey, I got one more question for you, and that was really good. Yeah. If you guys got some value out of that, I mean, I know it's not always easy in relationships because people are in different phases, and there's always two people going after different things in their lives, and it can get complex. But it's nice to know that you can find that support. And it took me a couple years for April to really kind of see what I saw in this. And it really took her to come to an event. So if you do have a spouse, get them to an event. It's typically what really is a game changer, because they really see what we're really all about rather than what they think we're about. Now, how many of you right now live in a small town? You almost think, is my town too small to build this business? It's too small. Okay. If you have a too small, okay, let's see it. Put a 1 in the chat if you think your town's too small. There's more than I thought there was going to be. All right, Tyler, how big is Virginia City?
Virginia City's pretty small. I would say there's probably about, right now in the city itself, there's probably 800 people that live here.
I'd say that again. I don't know if I heard you. You said 800?
Sorry, about 800. 800 people that live in the town itself. In the entire county, I would say probably 1,400 to 1,600 maybe.
Now, I mean, we know, 200 years ago or 150 years ago, there was 30,000 people there.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, in the 1860s, Virginia City was bigger than San Francisco.
It's a cool story. If you guys ever get a chance to check out Virginia City, Nevada, I was blown away. It was really a remarkable time to spend there. But I also want you to know is that, your city's not too small, right? What happens is you expand outside your city pretty quickly. And you find yourself in the neighborhood areas around there and the other towns around there. But there's never a too small or never a too big. It's just you got to your planet where you are, start there and then move from there. So, Tyler, I thank you so much. Truly appreciate the hospitality, the history lesson of Virginia City. That was really, really cool. And I thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for everything you've done to get Carrie going on this stuff.
Awesome. For sure. All right, I got one more and then I'm going to wrap up my little lesson here. Mr. Nick, are you on, sir?
I am.
Hey, sir. All right. So I'm going to give you, Nick traveled with Anime over. Nick's the extrovert. He's the one that doesn't shut up, right? He's like me. He and I start talking. Nothing was said and 3 hours later went by, right? So what was your biggest takeaway from coming up there and spending 4 hours in the car to come up here? Besides driving the Tesla and it driving itself, what was your biggest takeaway?
That was a good takeaway. Honestly, I would say the lower level leadership when it comes to Tyler and Carrie and the leadership they give everybody and the guidance, I mean, it's almost too easy. They allow you to go out and, hey, take care of this, take care of that. And there's no micromanaging throughout the team. It's just everybody pitches in. So it was actually a very fun event both days. We showed up, I think, 5 minutes late to the first event, pedal to the metal to get there. But it was just incredible to watch everybody. And at the end, I told you, I was 4 keto ups into it. So I was a crackhead when I showed up. But I mean, it was just great to get out there and help clean up, because that's all I could really do other than run my mouth and ask you a few questions.
Right. Well, man, I truly appreciate you spending some time up there. It was great hanging with you, and we'll see you soon. I mean, I only live like a couple hours from you, so it's time to move that event down into your neck of the woods. So that's coming soon.
I would say one a month. Let's do one a month.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm not scared.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Hey, thanks guys for all sharing. And so just to take a step back for a second, what we did was a keto life party. You could call it a more robust, or not, sorry, we did a better life workshop. What that means is it's just like a little bit more of a robust keto life party. It's a tasting. It's just a tasting with a lot of promoters coming together, uniting as a force, community, right? Community-based marketing. We created a sense of community. In this particular one, I drove up because I live about 4 or 5 hours away. I drove up and I got to share. I just shared from my heart. I tried to I have some skills. I wasn't being fancy. I wasn't in my suit. I didn't have my blue tip shoes on. I just went up there and shared and talked and helped create community, answered people's questions. I don't have the exact number, but I think there was 3 or 4 promoters that came out of that. Most of them were existing customers or previous customers. One might not have, Kim might not have been 5 promoters. So 5 promoters came out of that. And y'all, to be honest, we really decided not to even have a big promoter focus. And I realized we didn't have to. And it was an eye opener for me, because I was thinking, you know, man, we got to really get the promoters going, And when I realized we just need to give people everything we can to be better. That's it. We told our stories. We had everybody told their stories. We gave some validations through you could replace me with a couple videos and that would have been good. That's all you needed. And the people needed the community. They needed the security, the safety that they believed they could do it too. And we were open that there's more to this than just drinking a product and getting healthier. We were open that, yes, you can promote. Yes, you can go out and help people. Yes, you can join this amazing team and do something remarkable in your life. I had a lady that says to me, Dustin, I want to drink 2 a day, but I just can't afford it. I go, I don't remember her name. I wish I could. Sorry. I'm like, listen, I go, we don't need to be having we shouldn't be doing a product conversation. You've lost 30 pounds. You love the product. You're in love with the product. I go, have you really just investigated what our business could do for you? I mean, have you sat down and just learned about it? No, I haven't. I go, would you like to? I go, it seems to me that you're one step away from devastation. I go, if one thing in your life goes, you got to fork out 10 or 15, $20,000. I go, you're done. You're so backed up that you don't know which way's left or right. I go, why don't you set yourself up so that that's not the case? And I go, why don't you lock arms with this team? Look at who you get to work with. And I'm pointing my finger at everybody else, not me. They're all right there in their backyard. And it was just an easy time for us to have a conversation because we gave so much of everything else. So that was our KLP, our Keto Life Workshop, our Better Life Workshop. You don't have to worry about you can call it whatever the hell you want, to be honest. Sorry, you can call it anything. But the point is just do it. And my challenge to everybody out here is to do something. If you have a local promoter or customers, I'm going to give you a quick list of something I want you to do before the next 7 days or 10 days. I'll give you 2 weeks. You could do with your customers, you could do a product swap. You guys swap products, flavor swaps. You could do Ethan Godwin's on here. He's world-class. He actually helps create a lot of this. You could do a potluck swap out of healthy low-carb recipes. And you do like a little potluck at a picnic. You could do an educational event, a little KLP, right? You got 2 or 3 promoters coming together, and it's make it a little bit bigger, make it something more formal where you go to somewhere and it's not in somebody's house, or you have a nice house and you do there and you do a little, almost like a presentation, you do a tasting, you have everybody share their stories. If you need help on any individual one of these, reach out to one of the team leaders that have done a million of these and let's come up with a plan. But the biggest thing that I started with is they waited and waited and waited to do these. And now that they've done it, they said, they probably would have said, we could have did it 2 months ago. We should have did this 3 months ago. Because it was really that simple. It didn't have to be that complicated. But I know when it's new, you get nervous and you tend to delay yourself. So just commit to it, what you're going to do, and go do it. Okay, just commit. We used to do hikes. Take your customers and go on a hike. Shake up say everybody bringing their ketones. We're going on a hike on Saturday. Does he have to do it every week? No. Do you have to do it every month? Possibly. But do it often. Do it on a regular basis and keep the community going. I promise you, the promoters just showed up. They just came. We didn't have to push it down their throat. They just came. We were launching promoters out of the thing. Kim's like, I got my daughter's coming to my house right now. I'm like, awesome. Show this video to her when she gets there. I text her the video to send. And I go, show this to her when she gets to your house. Exactly what I said. So she already had action happening coming out of our little workshop that we did. So with that said and done, I want to wrap up with one little video and one little message. So let me see if I can pull this off. It's supposed to be under 30 minutes. Man, I'm just a talker. Nick, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys see the screen? All right. Christina, can you hear it?
3 feet from gold. And that story always reminded me that at all times I could just be 3 feet from gold. It could be the next meeting, the next turn, the next chance encounter. That really propelled me and pushed me through some of those dark moments. You're always potentially just 3 feet from gold. There was a man named Dorothy who was caught by gold fever in 1850. From state to plane, went to work. After weeks of labor, he was rewarded. There's a lot more where this one came from. Now we just need the right equipment to get it out the ground. Everybody who puts in will get an equal share out. Everybody.
The first ore was shipped to a smelter. The return showed promise that they had one of the richest mines in Colorado. A few more cars of that ore would clear the debts. Then would come big killing and profits. Down went the pickaxes. Up went the hopes of Darby and his investors. Then something happened. The vein of gold ore disappeared. They persevered, desperately trying to pick up the vein again. But to no avail.
You're running, yes. And then we're going to clean out. Nothing but rubble. Spent all we had in this equipment. Maybe somebody else could use it.
Right, I can find it. This particular junk man had an unusual opportunity. He called in a geologist to do a little calculating.
I'm not reckoning this not fatal because that fellow Darby was not familiar with fault lines. But you jump over and bring more most.
That is exactly where it was found. The junk man took millions of dollars in ore from the mine because he knew enough to seek expert advice when encountering an unexpected obstacle. He struck gold just 3 feet from where Darby gave up. When Darby heard about the riches he might have earned had he not quit, he made the most powerful decision of his life. He promised himself to never quit again in his new line of work. As an insurance provider, he became one of a small group of fewer than 50 people who sold more than $1 million in life insurance annually. He recouped his losses and paid all his family and neighbors back the money they had invested. He also discovered that desire itself can be transmuted into gold.
All right. Let's see if I can stop this thing now. For whatever reason, it didn't show the very end of it. Here, my
Helen Haxel.
Helen Haxel.
Any competition.
How do I stop this thing?
She was
There we go. So, who's seen that before knows that story? There's a famous book. If you know the book, drop it in the chat. What's that famous book that's about, or that I learned it from? But it's a really cool story, and it just shows you that, you know, if you look at even, you know, if you know, a lot of people know Kate Higdon, you know, Carrie Clark is multiple levels below Carrie, like multiple levels. It's a chip. It dried up, right? Nothing's moving. Then it's a chip, and then it's a chip, and then it's a chip, and then it dried up, and then wham, it happens. And the next thing you know, that the vein opens up, and then Carrie's working. And then this lady Paula comes in, or Ren comes in, then Paula comes in, and wham, it opens back up. And then Anna Mae and Nick, wham, it opens back up. So one of the things about that is sometimes it's harder to see that next step, but we know, meaning that the next vein, you don't always know it's there. It's hidden in blind sight. Is that probably not appropriate way of saying that? But it's there, but you just can't see it yet. I know Ed Milet, Tyler was talking about, you know, the pinata. It's one more hit. You can't see it wanting to break, but it's about ready to go. So hopefully that video gives you a level of encouragement that you're always 3 feet from gold. You don't know if it's your neighbor's second cousin. I never would have had a team in Australia without talking to my buddy in Orange County who knew a guy in Florida who knew another lady that knew this guy that did a booth. They did a booth that knew a doctor in Australia. Like, you can't map it out or plan it out. But what you can do is you can decide to take that another whack, take another hit, and keep moving forward and keep moving towards your goals. But the thing that I want to share with that before I jump off is that Darby didn't just quit. He quit the one thing, but he didn't quit on himself. He also decided that no matter what, he's always right there. And he's gonna do better and not stop where he's planning now. In his new career, he went and still had success. And that is a huge lesson in this journey. And there's a little bit more to that video, but if you get a chance, you just type in 3 feet from gold. But more importantly, you should go read the book, Think and Grow Rich, because it's so good for you to read and listen and learn from and do all the exercises in that. So I wanted to share that with y'all. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Anna Mae. Big shout out to the team out in Virginia City. And just so you know, Virginia City is like that video that they just showed, the mining, that's what it looks like today. Like, it looks like it's like 200 years old, and it is so cool. It was a neat experience for me to be able to go to, and I get to go to cool places around the world. And that was by far one of the best places I've been in a long time, because it was just real. It was super real. Like, you knew what it took to get there and what they were working for. And you had a lot of appreciation for what we have today, because man, what they had to do to get gold out of that mountain is holy cow. So with that said and done, appreciate you all. Have a great Monday. Stay tuned on the Pulse. We have some more stuff coming for you guys throughout the week, and let's crush the end of the month. Cheers.